Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to the 166th edition of Samarpan. Dear students, respected elders, and fellow devotees of Swami. Today is going to be a very interesting day. We have with us one of our alumni, but who has reached the pinnacles of excellence in all the aspects of life. No wonder Swami used to call him that he is made of gold and he loves me intently. These were the exact words of Swami for Brother Kishore. Brother Krishna Kishore has come to this hallowed surroundings of Brindavan way back in 1978 as a student. So you can imagine what must be the memories. One of the excellent lessons in humility I learned was just today when we were having lunch in the same hostel where we all also had. I remember having in the 80s, 1988. That this was the photograph Swami had kept here. That was the photograph Swami had kept here. So dear students, when you go back to the dining hall, please look at those photographs. Maybe look at some of those trees which have been planted by Bhagwan. This was shared today and it was a learning experience. Most importantly, Brother Krishna Kishore has spent a lifetime, even I would say a lifetime is less, in the service of the country. He is a chartered accountant by profession. He has published papers. He has visited international universities. I think the very word income tax will arise fear in our minds. He has done wonderful work, be it in Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh or even in Orissa, by collecting huge unaccounted amount of cash, but in a legal way, following the systems. But above all this, I think the most important thing what he told me was, sir, what would you like us to share with the boys here, because the present generation has not seen Swami. And he said, when I came here in 78, I want to assure all the boys here that you are also equally fortunate. You are also going to have a beautiful life ahead. And you want to know how excellent was this life? I would request brother to address the Samarpan session today. And please note down some good lessons. Mark my words, this session you will never forget in your lifetime. Jai Sai Ram.
Humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our divine mother, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu, respected director of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan campus, respected warden of the Sri Sathya Sai Hostel, Brindavan campus, respected faculty members, my dear students, dear brothers and sisters, fellow devotees of the Divine Lord. 1978 to 1983, 5 years have been the most blissful part of my life. It is more than 4 decades have passed, but every single day of my stay here I remember. Not only me, the number of alumni of our college at that point of time, everyone remembers this period spent in this heavenly campus of Brindavan as the golden period of their lives. My dear students, you are the luckiest human beings on earth because the name of the Divine Lord Sri Sathya Sai is there with you forever. Forever you will be alumni of Sri Sathya Sai institutions. There can be no better designation than this in your entire life. That is what I personally experienced in my life. There's nothing better than this. All other designations pale to insignificance compared to whether you're a student of Sri Sathya Sai or a devotee of Sri Sathya Sai. In the early 1920s, my grandmother Srimati Jasthi Sita Mahalakshmi and my grandfather Sri Jasthi Samba Sivarao, they moved to Chennai. At that time, there was a state called Composite State of Madras, which composed most of Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka today, along with Tamil Nadu. Good parts of these states also are part of the Composite Madras state. At that point of time, the High Court was situated in Madras. And Madras is the old name, Chennai is the new name. My grandmother used to be an advocate in Madras High Court, and my grandfather was a district judge, so he was posted in different parts of the state, whereas she used to be stationed in Madras. My grandmother comes from a family which had 7 girls and 2 boys. That means 9 of them. She was the eldest. And her father passed away at a relatively young age, leaving the entire responsibility to my grandmother. And I want to tell this because all of you can relate to how you can come up in life, even when you are faced with challenges. Imagine you have 8 younger siblings whom you have to bring them up, get married and take care of, and father is no more. With certain, there was basically a farming family, they had a limited resources. But she studied very hard. She went all the way to Banaras Hindu University. There was no current in those days except a few street lamps in the university. It was a massive campus. She used to sit under the street lights and read. Her examination center for law was in Banaras Hindu University. And that time nobody from South India, hardly any were there. So Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya himself went to receive her. He was a vice chancellor at the station because he was stunned that a lady is coming all the way from south of India, 3 days traveling by train. That's how she worked hard and she completed her law. After completing her law, then my grandfather was posted in different places. So wherever grandfather was posted as in the various hierarchy of the district level judiciary, he retired as a senior district and session judge. So she used to try to do some service activities. Why I am saying this is because this, I believe, is the reason why Swami took us into his fold. So she used to start something called a Seva Sadan she started. And all 7 sisters, they used to get those scheduled caste girl children from different places. In those days, there were certain kind of practices whereby these people were not brought to the mainstream. But they broke the tradition. They brought all the children. They never had money to comb their hair also. So they used to put oil on the hair, comb their hair. And she started schools for them. 4 different schools she started across Andhra Pradesh. And educated all these girl children. Today we have one of the schools, Jasthi Sita Mahalakshmi Zilla Parishad School in Tanuku, has nearly 2,000 students studying there. So this is the kind of charitable work she was doing. She was always helping the poor, and over a period of time she became a leading lawyer. But unfortunately they did not have any children. So she prayed everywhere. Finally she went to Benares. There's a very ancient and sacred temple of Kashi Vishwanath. It is one of the holiest places on this earth. There they went and prayed, and the child was born. That is why my father was named as Ishwara Prasad. That was because he was a Prasad of Lord Ishwar. After a few years, what happened when he was 8 or 9 years, once he was playing shuttle, then suddenly he fell down on the ground while playing. And these people, a lot of doctors came and various people tried to treat him. Then they diagnosed his condition as infantile paralysis. That is paralysis which strikes at a very young age. And they said there is no cure for it. In fact, desperately my grandparents went all over the country to different temples, different doctors, but there was no cure possible. In fact, Rajagopalachari and some of these very learned and great people at that point of time who my grandparents knew, some of them remarked saying that even Roosevelt, that time he was the president of US, was in a wheelchair. So there's nothing wrong in being wheelchair, you can come up very well. This kind of consolation they are given, but naturally they were very unhappy. Then a particular period came when they were desperate, but nothing could be done. So one fine evening, my grandmother was sitting in her office and reading some book, and my father also was sitting next to her, and my grandfather was somewhere outside. There's a beautiful lady came in a white dress. She came straight to my grandmother. Suddenly she came and came near her, and she said, "Sita Mahalakshmi, Sita Mahalakshmi." So my grandmother looked at her, who is this stranger calling me by name like this? Then she said, everyone thinks you are very happy, you are a top lawyer in this city. And incidentally, she was also a member of Legislative Council. She was one as an independent twice in Madras State and once in Telangana also later, despite being an outsider. So she was that popular. She said, everyone thinks you are a very happy lady, but you're very unhappy because of your son's condition. Don't worry. Pray to Sai Baba. Everything will be fine. He will get well. He will get well soon. That's what she told. But my grandmother was in that upset kind of condition. She looked, who is this lady coming and who is this Sai Baba? All that she was thinking. Then that lady walked out. Suddenly then my grandmother thought, let me at least give a coffee to her. She just went out of the gate. My grandmother went, then that lady disappeared. She couldn't find her at all. Then they came back and sat, and then they were about to go to sleep. Then my father has told my grandmother, why don't you pray to this Sai Baba? Because this lady has come and told. My grandmother said, why? How many people we pray? But still my father insisted. Then they sat down. My grandmother, my father knelt down from the wheelchair. He was brought to the floor. Both of them prayed, Sai Baba, please cure this paralysis condition. That's the prayer they made. Around midnight, after sleeping, suddenly my father woke up. He said, Mummy, please wake up. She asked, why, what is the problem? He said, suddenly I feel some kind of current is passing through my legs. I feel there is new energy which has come into my feet. Please wake up. Then she woke up. Then she held his hand. He got up. She didn't realize he was walking. He walked. And he went and switched on the light. Then in the middle of the night, they walked almost a couple of furlongs in a place called Gandhinagar where they were staying in Madras. So instantly, one prayer to Sai Baba cured him. And he became all right. He was in paralysis for more than 1 year. Suddenly he got back his legs. It became a big sensation. It became a big sensation in Madras, and a lot of people came to see next day, etc. Then both my grandparents thought, let us go to, because Sai Baba, they didn't know who this Sai Baba was. Then somebody talked about Shirdi Sai Baba. So they went to Shirdi. They decided, let us go to Shirdi. So they went there. And when they went to Shirdi, one young boy came. And he took them round the entire, Shirdi premises and also gave Amritam to them and said, "This is Baba's Amritam, please accept it." And he vanished. Same thing happened to our brother Vinay Kumar. You must have heard his Samarpan talk at one point of time when Swami took him to Mumbai and suddenly told him to go to Shirdi. He went to Shirdi and one boy took him round and made sure he had his accommodation, he had darshan, everything. See, this is how Swami arranges things. Then what happened is, after a couple of years, my grandmother had a client. His name was Mr. Hanmantarao. He was a transport commissioner of Madras State, a very distinguished bureaucrat and a very staunch devotee of Swami. So there were some file of his, some case which my grandmother was handling, and my grandmother had to go to the High Court next day, and she wanted to collect a particular papers. His house was on the way, and she asked him for the papers. He said, "I'll come and collect on the way. We need it for this particular case." Then he said, "Fine." Then they went to the house next day morning. My father also is a young boy, maybe 12, 13 years old. So he sat in the car. He also probably wanted a ride. Then they went there. They found about 50, 100 people near the house. My grandmother asked, "Why are all of you people are here?" Then they said, "Sai Baba has come. He is staying there." Now, the day before night, exactly the day before night, my grandmother had a dream. So in the dream, she was walking on a mountain. The mountain was like a golden mountain with golden aura all over spread. It was brilliant mountain. She found herself walking right on top of the mountain. Once she went on top of the mountain, she found a young boy doing some kind of meditative pose. She found a young boy. Then she saluted him and she came down. That was a dream. Now, when she wanted this file, Hanmantarao ji was on the upstairs and Swami was upstairs. So, but my grandmother was in a hurry to go to court. So she said, "I will go and collect the file." So they went there. Then suddenly they found Swami coming down from the staircase. The same person she saw in the dream last night was walking down the staircase. Exactly same person. Then that was our own beloved young, that time he was a young boy, maybe around 20, 22 years old, 21, 22. He came down, then he said, "Sitama Lakshmi, Ratri Kalalo Jusav, yesterday night you saw in your dream, Ippudu na dagariki vachavu, now you have come, chesko pad namaskar." Then, so she was stunned. Then, afterwards, Swami, what he did is he threw something like this, set by for both my grandmother and my father. My grandmother got some sweets and my grandmother got some flowers. So this was the first physical darshan they had of Swami. And of course, after you might have seen Swami, some of you, the elder ones would have seen the way Swami throws things. Whenever Swami throws, suppose if I throw 10 things here on any of you, some of this may hit your head, some may fall on the ground, some may fall elsewhere. But whenever Swami threw, it will go right to the person to whose hands it should fall. That has happened some thousands of times. I myself have seen. Not even once it will go and fall on the ground or hit anybody in the head. It can be a laddu, it can be a pen, it can be a piece of cloth, anything. It goes right into the hand. That's exactly what my father realized. It just landed on his hand straight. Similarly, my grandmother also, it went. So after some years, what happened is the state of Madras got bifurcated. It became two states called Andhra Pradesh. Then Madras became Tamil Nadu. So at 1956, this bifurcation came. That time my parents wanted to come to Hyderabad because High Court was in Hyderabad. So when they wanted to come here, one of their known persons that time was Burgulla Ramakrishna Rao Garu. He was governor at, I think, maybe Kerala, UP, something at that point of time. So his families used to stay in the ground floor. First floor was vacant. It is a place called Barkatpura in Hyderabad. So they went there on rent. They took that upstairs premises on rent. They were staying there. And Swami started coming to Hyderabad around early 1950s. He started regularly coming, maybe 52, 53 or sometime. He started coming to Hyderabad. Once he came, he started coming to Ramakrishna Rao's house. And every time Ramakrishna Rao's house, Swami used to come, and my parents and all used to have darshan. Swami used to bless them. It was in this house in 1964, Swami came, and I was 21 days old when I was a small baby at that point of time. Then Swami came, then he saw me. Then he told my grandmother, Sita Mahalakshmi, your me Manodu Bangaramu, Per Petacha, he said, can I put name for him? Then my grandmother said, Danikante Bhagyameti, what is more fortunate than that? Swami, please put the name. Then he saw some horoscope, my date of birth and all, and he gave the name Krishna Kishore. That is the biggest blessing to me in my life. My name has been given by our beloved Lord. After that, continuously, my parents have become staunch devotees of Swami. In 1964, they built a house in Barkatpura. And Swami started coming regularly. He used to stay usually in 2 or 3 different houses in Hyderabad. One was Raja Umapati Rao's house he used to stay a number of times. Then Mr. V.D. Prasad Rao's house he used to stay. And sometimes Dr. Satyamurthy ji's house he used to stay. Like that, few houses. But whenever he came, he used to come to our house also. He came about 6-7 times. He came to that house. And once I remember, I was a small boy that time, but I was about 4 years and odd. I think the date also, somebody gave me the exact date recently. It was Raja Umapati Rao's son has given me, Mr. Rajeshwar Rao, because he came with Swami that day. So Swami, it was on 4th September 1968. Swami came, one of the visits to our house, he came to our house. Then he came all of a sudden. Then with just 2 hours of notice. Then he brought a whole lot of people. My mother had just 2 hours notice to prepare food. So but about 20-25 people came with Swami, and so many other people came. So she made food, but that food would not have sufficed for so many people. But believe me, more than 100 people ate the food, which was made for about 20-25. Still food was left. That is how it works. Whenever you make, Swami makes the food Akshayam. In that occasion, Swami announced Mahila Vibhag. He made my grandmother Sita Mahalakshmi president. Then vice president, he made Shamala Devi, who is a daughter of wife of Burgula Ramakrishna Rao Garu. Then he made Lalita Umapati Rao general secretary, and one Sharadamma, daughter of Bhagwantam Garu, as joint general secretary. Now this Lalitamma, I will give one very interesting experience what she had. They had numerous experiences with Swami. One of the experiences was, some of you might have heard, Kanyakumari Swami went. I don't know how many of you would have heard this. He went to Kanyakumari. When he went to Kanyakumari, the wave came, and Basra pearls, a beautiful 108 necklace came, and it came all around Swami's feet. Swami, in fact, because he was going to the water, he pulled his robe almost 2 feet up. He was walking in front of all. They found suddenly it came like this. Then the flood, the wave. Then moment it receded, there's a beautiful Basra pearl necklace around Swami's feet. This necklace Swami gave to Mrs. Lalita Umapati Rao. She kept that necklace for a number of years. One fine day she was traveling in a train. Somebody stole the necklace. She lost the necklace. Then she cried a lot. She went to Puttaparthi. And Swami said, "You are careless. You should have been more careful, but don't worry. It is my will. Do you want the same necklace back?" She said, "Yes, I want the same necklace." And Swami created exactly same necklace. Now the beauty is when this happened 3-4 months, maybe a little, not exactly next time, after a few days, the old Basra pearl necklace, she kept one small pin, safety pin with one key, cupboard key. When Swami created, the same pin, cupboard key also came back with the necklace. So like this, Swami used to be very loving to our family. In fact, we were 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And Swami, I remember once, he used to come and there was a divan. He used to sit in the middle. He used to make us brothers sit next to him. And he used to talk and, all kinds of, how, he'll very jovially will discuss. All that very, very lovingly he treated our family. Every room of that house he walked. There is not a single room which he has not walked into in that wonderful house. I remember once Swami, one room there we arranged a dining for Swami. Then Swami came to that room. My sister was there. I was a small boy, maybe I was 8 years or 9 years old, I don't remember. Then Swami came near. My sister used to have a small deformity in her hand. So her hand was slightly tilted like this. It was not like we have straight like this, her hand would be like this. Because some deformity here. So my grandmother showed that, Swami, can something be done to this? Then Swami immediately created it. I was eyewitness to it. He created vibhuti. He rubbed it there. He did like that. It became straight. Forever. So Swami used to be very loving with our family. Whenever my father used to go, Swami used to call him for dining, food, etc. And always used to call us for interviews, Puttaparthi or Brindavan. That way he has been very, very compassionate with our family. And in fact, Swami also once, a couple of times he stayed in this bungalow also, my father, where old bungalow of Swami used to be there. Swami was so loving and considerate. One day he called, he said, "You stay in this bungalow, Swami." Then he started staying downstairs. It was very cold and I think it's the winter time. So father slept off and he was feeling the cold weather, no? But it was still after lunch he slept. There's still afternoon, but it was very cold, winter. Then exactly in half an hour time, Swami walked on, one hand pillow, one hand rug. He carried and he gave it to him. And next day morning, Swami himself came down with a tray with hot pakoras and served him. That is the love which father got from Swami. That is in Purva Janma Punya. That's all I can say. So my father brought us all in that Sai system. We all had study circle at home and we really were totally infused in Sai way of living. So naturally all the brothers joined here. My eldest brother Ravichandra, then Venkateshwar Prasad, then Nagendra Krishna, all of them studied here in Brindavan. My sister, one of the sisters, Sita Raja Lakshmi, joined Anantapur College. So I also wanted to join Swami's college. So I was 8th was over, 9th was over as a very, very poor student. Very, very poor student. And so 10th class, with great difficulty I passed. And after this speech you should delete it from my mind because you should not take it as an example. But I got only 49% in my 10th class. One of the most hopeless ever marks you can think of. And I just got, I think 38 was maths pass mark. I got 38 in maths. So I'm very kind, compassionate. Wherever that soul is, I pray to him. He gave me that 38 and make sure I passed. So with that wonderful marks, very in a daring manner, I came to Brindavan. And there used to be a very venerable, great person called Narendra. He used to be our principal, Dr. Narendra, one of the wonderful human beings. So I came to meet him. I told him, sir, I want to join. So he knows that all brothers are studying here. We're a devotee family. Moment he saw that, he threw like that. With the contempt, he threw the paper. He said, no admission. I can't give admission with this mark. No thanks, you can go. That's all, only one sentence. So what do? He straight away got rejected royally. So I immediately thought, Swami is my only recourse. So I went off to Puttaparthi. I just took the train ticket, bus, something. I went off to Puttaparthi. Whenever Swami wants to talk, he will create the situation for you. So that time also there were some kind of lines and all that system, token and all that. But I got the front row. So that is how he designs. I sat there. Then Swami came out for darshan, straight, beautiful way. He was keeping his head down, walking. You don't know where he's walking, but he walked straight to you. Then he asked, what are you doing here? I said, Swami, they didn't give admission to me. He said, don't worry, you will get admission. You go. Then he too gave Pad Namaskar. Moment I came, so armed with Swami's blessing, I came to Brindavan in 1978, sometime, I think June or something. So I came to Brindavan, I met the principal again. This time he was mellowed down, he was very compassionate. He said, come, you can join our college. Then see, at that time I had some kind of desire, why don't I become a doctor and go to USA? Let me study for 2 years, then do medicine and go. That was my thinking. So moment that I wrote PCMB, he said, PCMB, impossible. Then I didn't know what to do. Then I wrote MECA, Maths, Economics, Commerce, Accounting. He struck off Maths, he put H, History, Economic, Commerce, Accountancy. This is all you will get. So in 1 second he changed my fate. I was wanting to become a doctor, then suddenly he said, you do this, commerce course. This is again a beautiful thing which all of us, Swami has taught us. See, in life, many times you don't get what you want. God has a way of giving what you need. What you want, you may not get. Don't worry. So, Swami has taught this to every one of us. Second thing Swami said is, whatever happens, take it as happening for your good. Do not worry. So, moment he said this, I only thought of Swami. That's all. This must be for my good. If Swami wanted me to do this, definitely it must be for my good. I took it in a positive way. Because why I'm saying this, many of youngsters feel depressed, they have not got this particular subject, they feel lost, they feel disappointed. Please don't do it. Once Swami decides something for you, it will definitely be for your good. So I thought, okay, positive thinking is very important. That's the point I want to say. Because that's exactly what Swami teaches. So immediately I thought, this is for my good. Let me work hard and do very well in commerce side. Maybe I'll become a chartered accountant, MBA or whatever happens. But let me get into the commerce stream. I took it that way. In fact, this is one of the reasons, why Swami talks about positive thinking. Swami talks about seeing good in everything. Swami talks about taking everything as good for us. See, one of the reasons in Swami's devotees, 99.99% I didn't find anybody with any trace of this disease called depression. You don't find it in Swami's devotees. Why? Because of the courage Swami gives us. Similarly, another thing I have not come across, or rarest of rare cases, you find diverses in Swami's devotees. Again, taking things as for good and trying to adjust to situations instead of having anger, having a lot of resentment and all that, trying to do best in the existing circumstances which are given to you. So this is one of the important things Swami teaches us. Now, after I joined PUC, I suddenly found this is one of the best atmospheres which could have happened to me. In fact, yesterday when I was flying, yesterday night, when I was sleeping, I just thought, what would have happened to me if I didn't join Brindavan College? I was just thinking, with a 49% fellow, what would be my thing I'll do? At the best, I would have, with great difficulty, passed some BA, BCom and something, and I would have been somewhere with great difficulty. But this particular institution totally transformed me, totally, magically transformed me. In fact, once there was a devotee of student of Swami who was traveling in a train. And Swami, the person next to him, he was a non-devotee, slightly agnostic person. And he saw Swami's book and all in his hand. And he asked him, "Are you devotee of Sathya Sai Baba?" He said, "Yes, I'm a student." "What does Sri Sathya Sai Baba do? What is his greatness?" Then this student went on saying, "Swami creates rings, creates chains, creates vibhuti, he cures people, he saves people," all that he started telling. That man listened, came back. Next day when he came here, that student, Swami called him and asked him, "Yesterday you were in the train, did you have any discussion with anyone?" "Yes." "What was the discussion?" Then he said, "Swami, one person was questioning me and asking what is the greatness of Baba. Sai Baba, I told he can perform lot of miracles. He creates these rings and all this. And he saves people, cures people." Then immediately Swami told that person, that boy, "Chi, chi, chi. Is that the thing you should say? You should never have said that. These rings, chains, watches, whatever I create, these are only to bring people to my fold and to give them some kind of safeguarding them. The real miracle I do is bring about transformation in people. That is the miracle." That is what you should have told that person. That Sathya Sai Baba transforms people. He is a transformer. That is what you should have told. Anyway, this is exactly what happened to me in Swami's college. In the beginning, first year, Swami used to be so loving to us. And so, he was so free. That time in Brindavan, he used to spend almost 8 months in a year, about 3 months in Puttaparthi, and about 1 month he used to go to Uti, Kodaikanal, Delhi and other places. That was the schedule for most of the 5 years I was here. And Swami used to be so very free with us. He was so loving, and seeing him transform me a lot. Then Swami gave certain principles and some ideals which this college gives to all of you, which I feel are very important for next stage of life. Hard work. Swami always says, "Kaste phali." Without hard work, you will not get anything. Perseverance. Okay? Drudha sankalpam. Strong desire. Passion. Not giving up till you get. Determination. In fact, Swami always used to, there's a Telugu couplet of course, Swami used to say, if you desire something good, work hard for it, don't leave till you achieve your desire. Either you should do your best and not achieve, or the person, the divine gets tired and gives you what you desire. But don't leave, it is not the sign of a great person to run back, not getting what you are trying to achieve. That is what Swami used to say. Swami always used to say, aim high. Many times he told, low aim is a crime, aim high. Work hard, respect your parents, respect your teachers, respect your elders. So like this, so many good values I realized. And these values, along with the entire ecosystem of this place, totally transformed me. First of all, Swami's life himself. We have early morning, he used to get up at 5:30, and this portion of it I have not seen, but I have heard, brothers, some of our brothers, senior brothers like Sagar and others speak about it. Swami used to walk in his room. He never used to miss his exercise, because he could not obviously walk like others. Then people will not allow him to walk even for an inch. So he used to do his walking in the room. Then again around 6:37, whatever it is, he will go to the dining, maybe spend a little time. By around 8 o'clock, he used to come downstairs, come for darshan, take people for interview. Again till 9:30, 10 o'clock he used to be there. Then he used to go inside. Again sharp around 3:34 he used to come downstairs. Once he comes downstairs, again he used to go ahead, have darshan, sometimes interviews. Then almost from 5:30 roughly till 7 o'clock is to spend with students and elders. Like what you subsequent people at Trai sessions, we also used to have the same kind of things. You used to spend 1.5 hours with us every day. Somebody or other used to speak, and usually songs, so many Ramakatha, Sai Katha, so many Kacheri we used to have. And all this created, a sense of bonding, togetherness. And another important thing what I realized is Swami gave duties to all of us, physical. We used to sweep our own rooms. We used to make chapatis. Now we have a chapati making mission, I believe. I mean, that's something, after all, progress is progress. You can't stop it. But we used to make our own chapatis. Then we used to do a lot of service activities. We used to go to Beltur, Sigali, these places, sweep the villages, do Grama Seva, serve the villagers. Like that, several service activities were imbibed in us. Now, if you see, Harvard University has made one study on successful students, people who succeeded in life. That study says that large number of people who succeeded in life, they used to do domestic chores, that is household work they used to do when they were young. So that is one great quality which I have learnt here. That is dignity of labor. You should have that creates humility in us. Humility is again another greatest virtue which this institution teaches us. It also makes you self-reliant. Wherever you are, you can be on your own. And believe me, whenever I was in office, most times I used to go up before the office time also. And peons naturally would not come before office time. So if the table is dirty, I used to clean myself. And even till today, as soon as I get up, the first thing I do is fold my rug. I don't leave it there like that. I'll never leave my clothes on the ground, never. So because that's what the institution has taught us, the wonderful value systems. With all this, seeing Swami's own lifestyle, then seeing our own highly disciplined, regulated lifestyle, like you have here 5:30 in the morning till late in the night, you have a study hours, your college hours, everything. All this made me very studious. And Swami used to often tell us that whoever gets a first class, I will take to Kashmir. Swami's Kashmir trip was due. And that excited me a lot. So I studied very, very hard. I think in second PUC, went to Kashmir. And I studied very hard, and that became motivation. It's like a management by motivation. I got totally motivated. And that inspired me to excel in my studies. And the first year I got first class for the first time in my life. First year PUC. Second year also I studied very well. Again I got first class. Then Swami went to Kashmir. He took 18 people, including himself. I was not one of the 18. I think Brother Ravi Kumar, some of these people were there, Ram Krishna Reddy and others in that fortunate 18. But definitely I was not one of them. And initially I got disappointed. Then I realized, then I thought, why Swami said something he didn't do. Then I realized that Swami, like by then I started reading about Shirdi Sai Baba. There is a deeper meaning to whatever he said. It doesn't mean that exactly you will go on this thing. What he meant was, if you study well, work hard, you will get a life like Kashmir, most beautiful life, most enjoyable life. That is exactly the inner significance. Maybe I realized that maybe Swami is hinting. The other day when I was discussing with my wife, I told this to her, Madhvi. And I said, what Swami did is exactly, he gave me a life like Kashmir itself. I went maybe 7 or 8 times or more in the course of my life. Then throughout I had a wonderful life because I studied well. That is exactly what Swami never goes back on his word. Whatever he says will happen. So my life became a beautiful Kashmir thanks to following Swami's command. Then first year BCom I got first class. Second year BCom I got second class. I don't know why, I didn't study whatever it is, I got Then again, I thought of Swami. Then I realized Swami always said, never, never, never give up. Have determination. Have a high aim. Swami always says, you leave everything to me. I will take care of you. You do your duty. Result I will give. When Swami is given that much confidence, why on earth should I accept this? So I went to Principal Narendra. I said, sir, I want to cancel my second year and write my second year and third year together. Second year in October, third year, of course, in the March. So I said, I want to cancel my exam. He said, are you serious? You're going to study so hard? I said, yes, sir, I'm very serious. Then I studied hard. October, I did my redid my second year. Again, March, I did my final BCom. I got first class. I got 74%. In those days, it was a good mark. That is, highest itself used to be around in the 80s, early 80s. So 73 was a decent percent in that point of time. See, a 49% fellow who came, like an auto rickshaw, he went out like a distinction with a nice, beautiful, Mercedes Benz or what a beautiful car. I went out of Brindavan. From nothing, I went out with something really good. I went out with distinction. Then that point of time, I thought I should do CA. So I asked Swami. Swami said, Manchidi. He gave me Pad Namaskar. So I decided to do CA. Imagine the guts to do CA. You got 49 in the 10th and now you want to do CA. So again, why I am saying all this is, you may be thinking, many of you are working so hard from morning to night. This is exactly what is required for you in life to be successful. This hard work changed me so much. 5:30 in the morning I used to go for tuition for CA. Okay, come back at 7:30, get ready, breakfast. Then 9:30 I used to go to something called, we are audit teams we had to go for audit. So to some company, till 4:30, 5 o'clock, till 5, 10 to 5 was my office time. So till 5 o'clock we used to work. Then by 5:30 come back, get ready quickly, and 6 o'clock go to tuition again and come back 8:30, 9. That is how I did my, and I started studying. CA had intermediate final, 2 groups in inter, 2 groups in final. Every time I was failing in one subject called costing. I don't mean to insult a subject, but there are 2 horrible things called marginal costing and standard costing. So these things, they used to go over my head all the time. So every time I was failing in that particular subject. So 3 times already failed. That is October, March, October. Then again March came of the second year. So tomorrow morning is costing exam. 10:30 in the night, that thing was not going into my head only. At 10:30 I threw the book like that, slept off. Sometime at 12:30 again, I don't know what, I just woke up. Then I have the habit of keeping, Swamis. My father used to do it. So a photo like this, under my pillow. So I kept a photo. Then when I wake up, I see. So I don't know, somebody gave me a calendar like that. So I kept it. Since I woke up, I saw it. In that, Swami is standing in front of that Arjuna, Krishna, that, Radha kind of thing you have, I think, in Prashanti Mandir. In front of that, Swami is standing. Below that was written, I am with you wherever you are, guiding you, guarding you. March on, have no fear, Baba. Moment I read that, I got like electric shock came to me. Then I thought, this is a message Swami is giving. Don't waste 1 minute also. I started studying from there till 7 o'clock. Even when I was having bath, I was reading something. 7:30, then 8:30, I went. Exactly what I read in those 4-5 hours, same questions came, I passed. So within 4 years, I completed CA, which was 3.5-4 years, which was good in those days. People took much longer time to complete CA, but I completed. I became a chartered accountant. 49% fellow, BCom distinction, chartered accountant. Then I started working in a CA firm. One thing used to ring in my mind. Swami used to talk about public service. Why don't I write for civil service? it was ringing in my mind, and suddenly the last date was approaching for applications, whether I should write or not. I was thinking, I just went to, I think next 2 days or something was the last date. I went to my father's office table. There was a Sanatan Sardi lying on the table. So I just opened it like that. I'm not exaggerating, exact same words I read. In that Swami speech, Swami has said, don't take it as something against CA, because many people Swami told to do CA, Swami likes CA. But that was a message meant for me. So in that Swami said, I don't want my students to do CA because they help people to avoid paying taxes. I want my students to do IAS because when you change, reverse it, it is SAI. You can serve the country, you should do. This was a message for me. There are a number of people whom Swami told to do CA, bless them, they're done. But he had to give me a message, he gave that message. So then I thought Swami gave me answer. Then immediately I got the application form, I filled it with 2 days was left. There was no time to go to Puttaparthi and ask Swami anything. So I applied. Other day I was reading about some experiences again like this of Sanatana Sardi. There's one Venkateswaran, one Swami's devotee. So his father used to, they were a very wonderful family, a very devout family. So instead of good morning, good evening, they used to say Hare Krishna in the family. That was the way they used to greet each other. But then they came to Swami's fold and he started feeling guilty. I'm now Sai devotee, I should say Sai Ram, why I am saying Hare Krishna? Will Swami think like that? And he was thinking like that, opened Sanatana Sardi, exact discourse of Swami was there. He said, whether you say Hare Krishna or Sai Ram, it's one and the same. What matters is whether you are telling from your heart or not, with devotion or not. Whichever God you pray to, it is all the same. He gave the answer. I'll give one more example. Our wonderful brother Vedanarayan, he is a great role model for all of us. Now, Vedanarayan's father was a strong Ramakrishna Paramahamsa follower. And he saw Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, Siddhas and Yogis, Siddha Purushas should not do miracles. Then why is Swami doing miracle? Why should he be doing all the miracle? He thought like that. And he opened a Sanatana Sardi. Exact words what was written there is, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say that Siddha Purushas and Yogis should not perform miracles. But I am not a Siddha Purusha nor a Yogi, I am a Parabrahman himself. That is what Swami mentioned. See, these kind of wonderful miracles Swami keeps doing all the time. And so I took it as a sign. Then I worked very hard. I struggled. I never thought, see, this is a very important lesson to every one of you. In fact, I met one of the brothers who was kind enough to bring me here. I met his son also, who was in the 10th standard. I told him the same thing. Whatever you do, never be worried about competition. Do not bother at all about competition. You do your best, leave the rest to Swami. He will give you victory. Don't care a damn, there are thousands of people better than you. It doesn't matter at all. So imagine a 49% fellow writing, 4 lakh people are writing the exam. Most of them are gold medalists, many of them from IITs, IIMs are writing the exam. He has the guts of a 49% in 10th class, this fellow writing the same exam. How should I feel? Many of them are state first, many fellows wrote the same exam, forget 49%. So, I never worried about competition. This again Swami says, don't bother at all. When I am with you, do your best, leave everything to me. I will give you success. But your duty to work hard and follow my command. That is what Swami is very clear. I kept that one principle in mind. I said, because many people told me at that time, how will you compete with all these kind of people? There must be at least 10,000 people who might have got 90 plus marks throughout their career. How will you compete with them? They have at least 3,000 IIT, IIM fellows writing that exam. How will you compete? So many people told me that, but I didn't care a damn. I just thought what Swami told me, do your best, leave the rest to me. I worked hard and finally ended up getting a 282, which was a fairly decent rank, and I got into Indian Revenue Service. I wrote the exam twice. Both the times I could have taken police, but either Indian Revenue Service or police, something like that. But then I decided my CA background will match with IRS. Then I joined. Then I worked for almost 4.5 years in Bangalore as Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax, Trust Circle. So there, when I was posted in Trust Circle, I suddenly realized there are more than 10,000, 15,000 trusts. Many of them are doing a lot of good work, lot of charity. So but I didn't realize Swami's trusts also were there. There was a medical trust, there was an education trust. All were that time filing the returns in Bangalore. So suddenly I realized Swami is giving me an opportunity directly to serve him. So I went on, and every time K.R. Prasadji or Gangadhar Shettyji used to come to meet me, then they say, Swami has told this has to be done, he told to meet you, that also, all that fine. There I had the occasion to see Swami's books, the trust books, the way things are maintained. Believe me, this is not only an organization which is doing wonderful work for society, this is also an organization which strictly follows the law of the land. If you find a honest organization, you have to call it Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organizations. They are selfless people. And that time Swami himself used to sign all the checks. Not even 1 rupee he will allow misuse. Not even 1 rupee. Because if anyone, in fact I have seen Swami's letters written. In fact he wrote to my grandmother also, but I have seen letters written to some of the old devotees. Swami will even write on every single part of the letter without wasting even small bit of the page. That was the care Swami had for resources. Here Swami used to always tell us, do not waste time. Time waste is life waste. Do not waste food. Wasting food is like like doing disservice to God himself. Food is God. Don't waste time. Don't waste food. Time is God. Don't waste time. Energy is God. Don't waste energy. Like that, money is God. Don't waste money. He was very particular about this. In fact, Swami, I have seen some number of times, even in the interview rooms, he himself used to switch on the light, switch off the light. He himself used to switch on the fan. There are times when both fingers used to put the light and fan together. Because he didn't want to waste even that little bit. And drop of water also he will not allow to be wasted. That was the kind of control Swami kept. That is why such wonderful institutions have been built up. So I had the occasion to see this. Then I wanted to continue in the trust circle for longer period of time. That time there was a venerable chief commissioner, one of a very honest and great person, Mr. Lakshmi Narayana. He was a devotee of Swami. He posted me in investigation wing. That was a very powerful post. So when he posted me in investigation wing, I went to him. I said, sir, I don't want to work in investigation wing. I want to come work in exemptions. Nobody wants to work in exemption more than a year. Everybody wants to work in company circle, investigation, all the powerful posts. This is not a powerful post. But for me, it was an opportunity to serve Swami, also to help good people who are doing a lot of good to service. I took it from that angle. Then I told him I would like to continue. He said, no, nothing doing. This is one of the most important posts. He spoke and he said, you come back, and after 2 days, you come back to me. Then he told me people are lobbying very hard for this post. I am giving this post to you without asking, and you are saying no. 2 days back, he called me. Then he asked me, what have you decided? I said, sir, I have decided to remain in trust circle. He said, go. He was so upset. But then, that was because for me, it was a golden opportunity to serve good organizations, including our Sri Sathya Sai organizations who are doing a lot of good to society. So I thought from that angle and worked. And we also ended up taxing a lot of people who are collecting donations in educational institutions and who are doing unethical practices. We didn't spare them either. We in fact collected huge amount of taxes. We converted this into partly into exemption, partly into tax-oriented circle also. We did that, succeeded. From my budget was minus 15 crores when I joined. It's a refunds. When I left it, it was in few hundreds of crores plus, because that's the kind of taxes we collected also. We didn't spare the people who are on the erring side. Again, some days back, I was discussing with my wife. I said, look here, Swami never keeps any runa. If you give 10 rupees, he'll give 10,000 rupees back to you. He'll never keep anything. So I told, look here, those 4 years I worked in Trust Circle, thinking it's an opportunity given to me to serve Bhagavan and good people, and I wanted to continue. I refused what was the most important posting at that point of time. In return, what I got, ended up holding most powerful positions you can think of. And without none of the positions, because as Swami students, there are some things we cannot do. We cannot think of corruption. We cannot think of misusing our authority. We cannot think of lobbying for any post. These are all absolute no. So very clear. I never in my life I went and said I want this post. But I ended up becoming private secretary to Union Minister of State for Agriculture, Satyanarayan Rao. Then Officer on Special Duty to Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, Rural Development Minister. Officer on Special Duty to Mr. Ananta Kumar, Urban Development Minister. Private Secretary to Civil Aviation Minister, Mr. Ashok Gajapati Raju. Then I also went on to become CEO of Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board, one of the most important positions. So throughout my career, I was given excellent, I became Principal Director of Investigation, best postings without asking. I told my wife, how did this come? People lobby for these posts. I didn't make one request for these posts. How did they come? They only asked. In fact, when I went to Economic Development Board or when Civil Aviation Ministers, Chandrababu Naidu called me, he went on asking. I was hesitating to join. But he went on and said, no, you have to join, you have experience. People were lobbying for the post, he ignored. But I was not wanting to go, he forced me to go. And like that, I went and joined all these positions. How did I get all these important positions? Which gave me tremendous exposure across the world to topmost people in the world. Because the 4 years I spent there thinking I am doing service to Swami, I didn't do any service to Swami. The Swami has given ample opportunity to serve and ample reward in return in the form of very, very important positions throughout my career. So this also please remember. In fact, Swami always used to say, when you serve others, do not think you are doing any favor to them. Rather, it is they who are doing favor to you by allowing you to do favor to them. In fact, Swami says there are 3 types of punya which everyone accrues. One is your own punya, what you do. Second, the punya done by your parents. Third important punya is when you do good to others, those people go and pray for you. That is the prayer God hears and that is the reward He gives to you. That's what I felt, why we were happy as a family. My grandmother did all that for those children, poorest families in those days, and it came back as Swami's blessing, and He Himself came into our lives and so many good things happened. And all, believe me, all the 9 people, 8 siblings, not only she became very educated, all of them, she got them very well educated, very highly married. 2 of them married, 2 pilots, 2 leading lawyers, all that, every one of them she could settle well. See, the blessings come back multifold. Now, again in the service, I found throughout, like I adhere to Swami's principles. That has literally paid me a lot of dividends in the form of good name and inner satisfaction for having done good work. There are certain positions of time, which I held with especially with the union ministers, and also as CEO of Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board, where we used to work almost minimum 12 hours, but usually 16, 17 hours in a day. In fact, I used to organize as CEO Economic Development Board all the tours of Chief Minister end to end. And every single tour, I did 19 tours of CMs across the world, whether they're meeting the prime ministers or meeting the, topmost, whether Elon Musk or topmost entrepreneurs or anybody else. All the meetings I used to organize along with my team. It was a team effort. But I used to work something, sometimes I sleep only for 3 hours. There are days I slept only for 1 hour. That is the kind of hard work. But never I had any health issue, never had any problem, because always I used to listen to Swami's songs. In fact, this also please remember, listening to Swami's speeches, listening to Swami's songs gives you tremendous energy. It makes you forget. It removes the stress from you and you can face any challenges. So the point I'm trying to make is, every time we worked hard, and I never had a stress at all in my life because of the mental framework which Swami has given. That happiness, the inner happiness, makes everything else look small. And every time I prayed, Swami, please, many big programs I used to organize, Swami, please bless us with success. Invariably, the program became successful. I never had a single failure. So this is the power of devotion to God, which all of you should remember. Then, way back in 2006, my family, they were traveling from Vijayawada to Hyderabad by car. My father-in-law was driving. He is a teetotaler and a very good driver. But so they were coming from Vijayawada and I was in Hyderabad. At that point of time, I was arranging some books of Swami. I have a number of books of Swami. Then I was listening to Swami's songs, some bhajans, something, listening to them and arranging. And while doing, suddenly I got up. There was you open the cupboard, no? That metal thing was outside. It hit me very hard. It hit me. I got hurt. Then I just came. Then the phone rang after 5 minutes. I lifted the phone and they said, there's a massive accident here from Vijayawada, Hyderabad road. I think your family is in the car is smashed up. Then I took the phone. Then what he told me is, miraculously all the people have survived. He said, car is totally smashed up. We are taking them, but their injuries, they are taking them to hospital. Then I prayed to Swami. I went to the hospital. It was around 9:30 in the night. Somebody was kind enough to bring them. So they were going somewhere. They left their own function and brought these people along with some ambulance. They all came. When I went to the hospital, the serious injury was for my daughter, because here everything was cut. In fact, you could see her flesh open like this. It was so badly cut. And doctor told me she missed by a millimeter, or I got missed by millimeter. That's what I thought. That hit what I got, Swami gave me the hit, which would have been dangerous for my daughter. But he said, I don't know what we can do. Then miraculously, they at 9:30 in the night, they got hold of a plastic surgeon. Whole night they did the operation and they stitched up everything, and perfectly it was. She had 2 fractures, both the legs and this. Now, before the accident happened, my wife was sitting on the right side. Then my daughter's in the middle. My daughter insisted for the window seat. So they stopped at some place. She took the window seat. Because she's shorter, that injury, had my wife been there, it would have been a serious injury. See, and all of them, within a couple of months, my daughter got well and she again topped her exams in the school and everyone survived. Car to became a scrap. If you see the photos, you'll be shocked anyone survived in this car. See, this is a miracle. What Swami says, sometimes destiny, something bad has to happen, it will happen. But Swami will save you from the damage. Swami will not save his, he is a Bhakta Parayana, Bhakta Rakshaka. See, and that's how it's a fantastic miracle in my life, what I witnessed. The way my daughter escaped from I being saved, and the way whole family escaped. Coming back to few years back, what happened few decades back, once here at Brindavan, my father was coming along with Satyamurti Garu and Bhagwantam Garu in a car from Hyderabad. On the way, what happened, I think opposite side, some lorry came. They put strong lights, okay, on that headlight. Then the Satyamurti Garu was driving, he got blinded naturally with that glare. So he swerved the car to right side. Car went straight into the field, stopped near a deep ditch. It would have fallen into the ditch. Then they came to Brindavan in the morning. Then they came, Swami called them, all three of them. Swami asked Satyamurti Garu, who drove the car yesterday? So no one told that this happened at all to Swami. No one knew also. They came late in the night. Next day morning they were called for interview. So he didn't say anything. Bhagwantam Garu asked, who drove the car last night? He said he didn't say anything. Then he looked at my father. Then he said, who drove? Second time he asked him, obviously he has to tell. He said, Satyamurti Garu drove. Immediately he blasted Satyamurti left and right. He said, Dunna Pota, I told you, Swami told him not to drive the car. He said, for a few months I told you not to drive the car. You didn't listen to me. You drove. And this accident happened. I saved all of your lives yesterday. If you did not, next time don't make this mistake. Till I tell you to drive, don't drive. See, this is the way he ended up saving everybody's lives. So this is the power. At that point of time, when I heard my family got an accident, first thing I said is Sai Ram. Here also when Satyamurti shifted the car, my father said Sai Ram. We thought of Swami. That is the magic of the word Sai Ram. Om Sai Ram. It's a magical word. I'll give two more examples. One is Arun Malhotra, General Arun Malhotra. So once his parents were driving a car, and while driving, they were going for Swami's function, but they were getting delayed. In Delhi, it was Swami was not there, but he was the state president, so he was driving fast. He suddenly hit one cycle fellow who was, and that fellow went and fell far. People, and he fell unconscious. People thought he died. Lot of people gathered all around him. Here, Arun Malhotra and his wife were his father and his mother were praying Swami, 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 Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. And believe me, they thought that boy died. One person came in a sannyasi, this thing. He said, robe. He said, don't worry, everything is all right. He went to that boy, he tapped him like that. He got up and he walked off. See, that is the power of Sai Ram. I'll give yet another example how Swami saves. General, our Dr. Mohan is there, our trustee, Mohan Diabetic. In fact, he relates in one of his own experiences how the Sai Ram, remembering Sai Ram at crucial times saves you. Once he himself was driving, he was not a devotee at that point of time. The driver slept off, the car hit one cycle fellow. That cycle fellow shouted Sai Ram. And they thought he died, but he survived. Then they took him to hospital. Then hospital, he did not require even first aid. He was so perfectly fine. So this is, I've realized that anytime we face problem in life, just pray to Swami. Just say Sai Ram, then he comes to your rescue. He takes care of you. This is one thing I have noticed in our own family and with all the other, many other devotees. Coming back to our own family, Swami, when my grandparents, Swami's grandmother, Swami used to call Devata. And grandfather, Swami used to call, he also had one word like that, I think, Dharmatma, he used to call Dharmatma. In 1960s, late 60s, Swami told them, you please leave Hyderabad, come off. That time he had a leading lawyer. Then Swami said, my grandmother said, what about my practice? Then Swami said, your son will take care. Then they came here. Swami gave W4A15 in Prashanti Nilayam, one house for them. After it was constructed, he is given A11 here in Brindavan apartments. Swami took care of them, where they almost 20 years. After shifting, my grandfather was alive till 1981. And 1981, he became seriously ill. By that time, he was about 80s or so. He became seriously ill and he was admitted in this, he was in the A11. Then Swami came to see him. When Swami came to see him, see the kindness of Swami. He could not get down from the bed to have Pad Namaskar. Swami came unannounced. All of a sudden he came. Then he could not get down from the bed. Then Swami sat on a stool, kept his feet on the bed and gave Pad Namaskar. Swami asked him, "What is your last desire?" My grandfather said only one thing. "My only last desire is I should be reborn in a devotee's family. Nothing else. That's all." Then he became so seriously ill, he was admitted in that Whitefield hospital. I still remember that day. It was 10th August 1981. So me and grandmother were sitting on both sides of him. And we know that he was sinking. My grandmother was saying, "Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram." Suddenly my grandfather said, he did like this. I was just right next to him. He said, "Swami, Swami, Swami." And he closed the eyes. That's it. And that's how wonderful ending he had. So that compassion, love he showered on my grandparents. Similarly, my sister also, Swami took very good care. She had a congenital heart disease when she was small. She survived, Swami, they gave her only about 4 or 5 years to live. But she studied, Swami said, "I will take care of her." And Anantapur College also later on she joined. Swami used to be very affectionate to her, Sita Raja Lakshmi. And he insisted on her marrying. Then she was refusing. I remember here itself, interview room, Swami will say, "You marry?" She will say, "I will not marry." Swami went on. Finally, Swami said nothing doing, he has to marry. Then my father bought 3 matches. One was a son of a minister, son of an industrialist. Third one was an ordinary family, son of a good, very honest bureaucrat. That man himself was a bureaucrat. So Swami selected the third one, and that person looked, Surendra, he took wonderful care of my sister. And again, they were not having children. Once Swami came darshan, here only threw a cherry to her, and she ate that, and within a few days she conceived, and she had a daughter. My sister lived up to almost mid-50s. And when she passed away also, her ashes had to be taken to Ganges. That day morning, 6:30, my brother-in-law was going for the airport. 5:30, somebody comes and knocks the door. Or Gopi Pidithala, brother Gopi Pidithala from Hyderabad. And he said, "Sir, Swami has given this vibhuti to you." Then obviously he has sent for this. Vibhuti he has sent through her and created and given. And that was mixed and, So that way he has shown immense love and affection for our family. And there were certain occasions like while working as CEO of Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board, once I was traveling with Chief Minister to a place called Guizhou in China. So China, that particular place, I went 2 times earlier, met the governor of the state, top delegation. They wanted a sister state agreement with Andhra Pradesh. So we did with 2 states, Sichuan and this place called Guizhou. So we ran through the file through External Affairs Ministry. Finally, it was agreed. Then we planned the trip of the Chief Minister to China to visit many places, including Guizhou. When we were going to Guizhou, from Beijing we were going, and that time printed boarding pass was must for international travel. Your online would not work. So we took the boarding pass coming, the Chief Minister and other members of delegation was coming. I was walking a little behind along with the ambassador also came to see with some of those people I was walking. Suddenly I realized my boarding pass is missing. I don't know where it fell. I never lost. I traveled so extensively across the world. I never lost a boarding pass. But that day I lost a boarding pass. Then now CM has to go. And CM, I saw him cross the security ahead, about 40 feet ahead. And I'm here behind without a boarding pass. So they won't allow me. Flight time is over. I don't have time to go and get a boarding pass. Because naturally CM goes at the last minute. So how do I reach? So I was thinking, I was intensely praying to Swami, because if I don't go, it will be a mess, because I was the one who was dealing all the official delegation, I led everything. So I was in know of all the things which had, apart from investment meetings, conferences, sister state agreement, so many other visits, everything I had to coordinate. Without me, it would be a huge problem. And then flight is again, next flight is about a day later. It would have caused a lot of problems. So I was just praying intensely to Swami. Then I went to the counter with the embassy people. We took a duplicate boarding pass. By then flight time is over. Should have taken off. When I came near the security, I still saw Chief Minister and all standing there. Then I realized what was happening. It started raining cats and dogs. Not ordinary rain, normal rain, flights take off. It rained so heavily in the last 5-7 minutes that the ATC told, please don't take off. And the rain continued for 1.5 hours. Happily we spent time together. Then finally we flew. See, that's why Swami always takes care. He never. Another international travel had a very interesting experience. We were going from. This was a private visit. From New York, I was to go to Dallas, and we took we went to the airport on time, but by mistake I was dropped in the wrong gate, because those airports are very big. If you go into wrong gate, by the time you reach wrong entrance, you will take at least 20-25 minutes extra, if not more. So by the time I reached just 3 minutes was there about 5 minutes was there because there you have to print your boarding pass and drop the luggage. Just 5 minutes was there to close the counter. So the counter person was saying, you'll have to, because it's an expensive flight, about $200. And me and my wife were there, and I don't know how much it'll cost to take a new flight. So I was printing, that damn thing was not printing at all. I was going on, typing the computer. Then last time I said, Sai Ram, and touched that, the boarding pass came. And I gave it 2 minutes to spare, I gave it, and then went away. Then from there, I had to come to Boston. So when I went to Boston, there's something called B6 here. I don't know if it's still there. There's a room called B6. When we were students, we used to take care of Swami's handkerchiefs, we used to wash. That was a chore given to us. All his chairs, pillows, his, all those things. And whenever he used to come for lunch, dinner, all his plates, glasses, then whatever he eats, that prasad, whatever is left, we have to distribute to everyone. We used to mix all the food and distribute. Then every day we used to take a carrier from the hostel to, Swami for morning break, lunch and dinner. Then me and a brother called Vinod Darira, Raghunandan, we used to make curds for Swami. And Swami, one thing, he usually used to eat 1 or 2 items which we used to take from hostel, because taste he wanted to see of students' food. But curds he never missed, because the thick curds we used to make. And that was the service given to us. Wonderful service. So when going to airport, I got a photograph of Swami in 1978. That photo where we arranged the whole thing. I remember, because I was part of the arrangement of Swami's B6. We did that. Whatever we did, exactly there, that arrangement of Swami, and Swami standing near that. I vividly remember, because I was telling my wife, see, B6 we used to do all this. Okay. Then we went to the counter and we took boarding pass. It came B6. Gate is B6. See, I got a photo and I get a boarding gate also. See, this shows Swami is with us all the time. He's always with us wherever we are going, taking care of us and ensuring nothing goes wrong. Apart from this, like this, despite all the, activities across the year, everything went well for me. Throughout, I got a wonderful track record. I was naturally, because of Swami and his teachings, naturally, total integrity we maintained and worked very hard. So naturally that got a lot of good name. That good name I don't ascribe to myself, I'll ascribe it to my parents who brought me to Swami and to Swami himself. Everything, all the credit is 100%, 1000% belongs to him only. So I had a wonderful career. 2019 what happened? Because there are challenges. Swami says life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a song, sing it. Life is a game, play it. Life is love, enjoy it. Follow the master, face the devil, fight to the end, finish the game. So Swami always used to keep saying that. 2019, there was a change of government in Andhra Pradesh. And I was perceived as one of the closest officers to Mr. Chandrababu Naidu at that point of time. So the government changed, then the new industry minister came. There was a big get-together for him in Hyderabad. Gautam Reddy was a new minister, and we had Mr. Subbiram Reddy is one of the entrepreneurs he organized. He called 450, 500 people, the elite of the state city, and in honor of the new industry minister. So then G.V. Krishna Reddy is a leading entrepreneur. He gave a speech. He said, he spoke very highly about me. He said, earlier government, he did a lot of good work. He wants to go back to his department, but he should not leave an officer like that. Subbiram Reddy also spoke very well. Mr. Gautam Reddy, what he said is, our party has assessed the performance of all the departments of Chandrababu Naidu government. The best is Economic Development Board. What you said is right, headed by Mr. Krishna Kishore. He told it publicly. That is fine. But despite all this, in December, suddenly the chief minister suspended me and slapped a lot of cases on me because there's some assessment of his. I was supervising officer some time back. It was like board has constituted a team. I was a part of the team. Whatever the reason and all the work. So a lot of cases were slapped on me. Then I thought of only one thing. See, Swami always gives us a test. Okay? Maybe this is a test from Swami to see how we will come out in the test. Once these cases were slapped, I opened one literature of Swami. In that Swami, what he said is, gold has to go through a lot of processes. The goldsmith makes it, hits it, does a lot of, finally it comes out into the shape what it has to come. Like that, God also gives a lot of tests to you. It is for you to come out successfully in the test. So this is what I thought is a game of Swami only, to teach not only me, entire student community, that life is a challenge. Sometimes, see, I never touch one paisa in my entire life. Somebody accuses me of wrong things because of certain other things. So whatever it is, I took it as Swami's this thing. Then same day, I just put on a tape recorder and Swami's mobile phone, YouTube discourse. Swami's beautiful speeches are 23rd November 2001. It's a beautiful speech, all of you should listen. Swami's birthday. Swami talks about difficulties. Everyone gets difficulties in life. He talked about Kunti Devi. Because she said, when I got difficulties, I remembered you, Lord Krishna. I want difficulties. She said that. So then Swami said, you have to maintain your self-respect. You have to maintain your integrity. You have to respect others. And you have to have immense faith in God. Ultimately, the righteousness prevails. And he gave the example of Pandavas. That was the speech. Then I thought, and after that, so many times, I don't know, every time I open the phone, I get a message, Swami's blessings comes. Swami says, I take care of my students. These things come like that. So Swami has his ways of showing. So many times he was giving me signals, I'm with you, don't worry. Then I and my wife and family decided we have done nothing wrong. We'll not bow down our head. We'll fight. And legally I fought. And I won the cases. Not only I won the cases, the courts gave a very strong strictures in the government, saying that this is all malified, you're done with bad intention, there's nothing wrong which this officer has done. And finally I won, and I happily, I've got my promotion and all that. Now, Entire administration was trying to beat me, but there was one power of Sai behind me and the character given by him, which won over an entire government. And finally, I without my bowing down my head. That is how Swami stands. Because challenges, difficulties are a part of life. All of you should know. But have faith in Swami, you will come out success. And follow Swami's commands. That's more important. And you will come out successfully. Couple of months. Few months down the line, suddenly a posting order came, posting me as Principal Director Investigation of Odisha. That is one of the most, there are only 17 such posts in whole of India. They are the most powerful posts in the income tax department. I never asked for it. The chairman that time was Mr. Mahapatra, very honest man. So he just posted me. Then I went to meet him. I was in Delhi at that time. And there are a lot of people, some people were competing for that post. I know that they wanted to become. I never asked for it. Then this gets approved by the highest authority in the country, approves this particular position. I don't know why I got posted. So I went to meet him. Mr. Mahapatra, moment I went to him, he said, Jasthi, he calls me Jasthi. I hardly know him, but he said, Jasthi, sit down. He said, you are one of the most honest officers of this department. We are proud of you, proud of the good work done by you. We know all the problems created by the bad elements in Andhra, and I'm very glad that you fought and won with them. Odisha is my home state. I want a honest officer in my state. I have handpicked you. Please go and accept that position. This is what he told me. The love and affection with which he told, I just could not refuse. Initially, my intention was to refuse. Then I accepted it. Then the entire Central Board of Directors congratulated because chairman picked me up for his home state. Then I went and joined. I had a wonderful tenure, 2 years. I had a wonderful, brilliant tenure in this thing, and we maintained highest integrity. And there's one article which came in a magazine called India First. In that edit itself says an officer par excellence. That is edit, main edit. And inside that, last sentence he says, it's a cover page article on me. First time there's an article on an IRS officer in any magazine, in a cover page. Last sentence he says, if Prime Minister Mr. Modi has to have his vision of developing India, then more of such officers like Krishna, Kishore are required for this country. That is how he ends the article. In 2019, somebody was wanting to finish me. Within 2 years, I get this kind of posting and this kind of good reputation. And in the state of Andhra Pradesh itself, I became a household name. A lot of people gave a lot of respect. See, this is how Swami protects. I shall be with you wherever you are, guarding you, guiding you. March on, have no fear. It applies to every one of you. I'll just take a few more minutes. Recently, I was thinking of going to Ayodhya. So when I was thinking of going to Ayodhya, then Prayagraj, Varanasi. Varanasi, I wanted to be there on Mahashivratri day. So I wanted to go. So I booked I was deciding whether to go or not. Then I booked my ticket. Finally, I decided. Every day I read Swami's books usually. I make it a point to read every day. There's a beautiful book everyone should read, a book by Karnamba Ramamurthy. A wonderful book. I think it's there in our Books and Publication Trust. Today I'm going to Ayodhya. Morning I don't know what is there in the next page. I read for about 10 pages. I fold it so the next page becomes. I opened that. Swami's visit to Ayodhya came up. See, where is Swami is with you? Swami has not gone anywhere. How does that page come Ayodhya when Swami's visit to Ayodhya, then Varanasi and Prayagraj, Allahabad, Triveni Sangam, that came in that exactly Karnamba Ramurthy wrote about all that. In that she wrote about one Hanuman temple in Ayodhya, where Burgula Ramakrishna Rao ji, governor, asked Swami in that particular book, Swami, in this Hanuman temple, people say that Lord Rama coronated Hanuman as a king. Is it a true story? Then Swami says, yes, it is a true story. And Rama wanted Hanuman to be remembered forever. So he coronated him as a king. That's what I read. So I was very keen, I have to go to the temple. I had Ayodhya, I went to Ram Mandir, but more keen I was wanting to go to this particular temple which Swami told. When we went there, I mean, there are thousands and thousands of people. Somehow we managed some kind of pass. We had Ayodhya Darshan, Sri Ram Mandir. But here it's impossible because miles and miles of queue, maybe few lakhs of people were there. How many kilometers? God knows, 6-7 kilometers of lines. How to go there? Temple is there. We can see the barricades and huge queue, crowds, miles together. So me and some friends were there. We thought, okay, we are not able to go to this temple. Let us have darshan of on the TV, and we are doing like this. Suddenly one young boy comes near, said, "Sir, आपको दर्शन करना चाहते हैं? 15 मिनट में जा सकते." So he came. I got a shock. Then he took us, and from some backside, there is a pujari. He made us have darshan, and we had a wonderful darshan and came back. And it's an impossible thing, see, that's how Swami, morning I was praying to Swami, I have to go to this temple. By night I went to that very temple in an impossible scenario. See how Swami arranges things. Varanasi again, Shivaratri, but there's no protocol, nothing. I could go again, it's his blessing. See, that is how he takes care of us. At all times he's with us. And other day again I was coming down from the staircase. We have a system in our house where we have a small Bluetooth player which plays Suprabhatam, Lalita Sahasranamam, Vishnu Sahasranamam, Hanuman Chalisa. About 3.5 hours we play every day morning. It's a compulsory. So my wife was asking me, I was telling my wife, see, look here, this particular instrument we are playing. I always remember what Swami used to say, that wherever my glory is sing, I'm installed there. So that's why I play this, because that means Swami will be with us when we are praying, His glory is being sung here. So I told that, I was doing again the Parayanam of some book, exactly same paragraph came. Wherever my glory is sung, I am there. Remember that. God is there where His glory is sung. So my dear brothers and sisters, I can go on and on, but I know that it's a time for closing. But all the point I want to tell you is, every one of you students, you are an ambassador of Swami. Please remember, that is how I did in my entire career. Always thought I am an ambassador of Swami. And I never did anything wrong, because for me, Swami is always watching me 24/7. What is my student going to do? Whether he'll bring me good name or bad name. So we have to do everything possible to get good name to Swami's institution. Don't think your duty is over once you leave the colleges. Once you leave, every minute of your life, till the last day of your life, you're a Sai student. And you carry that tag with you. It's a most precious tag, much more than a Bharat Ratna. One most important tag. And please, whatever Swami has taught, follow the teachings and pray to him that you don't deviate from his path. You will have a wonderful life ahead. I was also going recently through certain, Harvard, Stanford, etc., the business schools, what they look for and I realized that whatever you're taught here is exactly what the best schools in the world are looking for. Whether it's empathy, honesty, hard work, sincerity, teamwork, service motive, determination, strong drive, strong desire to make an impact in life, strong will to do maximum good to maximum people. These are the kind of leaders even universities like Harvard, Stanford are looking. And these were the values taught to me by Swami, by this beautiful institution called Sri Sathya Institute of Higher Learning. So you are all blessed. And whatever, I've read many books afterwards. Please make it a point to read, all of you. There are many good books for entrepreneurs, like they can be like Think and Grow Rich. Swami says, Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavati. You become what you think. There's a book called Atomic Habits, The Power of Habits. If you see the Swami's routine, what I explained, the routine what you have, these are the habits which give success in life. You see like that n number of good books you see, which top management principles are laid down, all that are taught either verbally or through example or various ways by this beautiful institution called Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. All of you will come up, and it is not only you will come up as a desire I'm expressing as an alumni, it is your responsibility to come up, because Swami wants his devotees, Swami wants his students to lead the society. Whether education, politics, industry, profession, you should all come to the top, because only when you come to the top, you can do a lot of good to the society. And when good people are in helm of affairs, that is where Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa permeates in the society. That's where evils like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, corruption, all these kind of evils will take a back seat. So it is not a desire to become successful, it's a duty to become successful in life. Please aim high. Low aim is a crime, as Swami said. Work hard, he will bring success. And we have to do our best to make our mother country, Mother Bharat, the greatest country on this earth. This is the duty of all of us. Thank you very much. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. We must offer gratitude to Krishna Kishore sir for this wonderful, heartwarming talk. He's a very humble person, but let us not forget that he won the gold medal from the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh for the best revenue officer for the IRS section. That is a commendable achievement. I think from 10th standard 49 to a gold medal in revenue service is an example for all of us to emulate. And we praise Swami that he gives all of us the strength and the motivation to do that. Some few key takeaways. I think we were fortunate to listen to his grandmother facing the hardships of life. I think she lived up to her name of both Sita and Mahalakshmi Garu, because the way she brought up all her siblings was an example for all of us to, believe in the adage, hard work pays off, study hard, work hard. Another beautiful thing which flashes to my mind is Swami used to throw chocolates or whatever, and it used to land perfectly in the hand. I think that's what his grandfather and father, everybody expressed, or we also have experienced that in our college days or school days. That was another wonderful instant to connect. We also remember, I think we must promise to Sir that, we will read his book which he and his father have authored about charitable and religious institutions, and former jurist Nani Palkiwala has also appreciated that book. If you see his life, like Swami says, my life is my message. His life is an excellent example. Though his grandparents met Bhagwan in his previous birth in the 1920s, how the connection with Sai has changed this IRS officer's life completely. And I think we must thank Swami that we were fortunate today. It was indeed a sweet 16 for all of us and a memorable day. And I think the present students, you please promise me that be it digital or physical, you will make a note of all this. And maybe we have never done this before, but we would like to summarize back to Sir that we read that book or whatever Sir has mentioned, we follow it. Now coming to some few pleasant announcements. There will be a Trai Parikrama followed by this Arati. The next Samarpan session will be on 20th of April, and we will let you know the speaker and the timing shortly. I think for the Samarpan to succeed, like in all, there is a lot of teamwork and backroom work, so we would like to express our gratitude and thank to the Karnataka organization, the Brindavan committee, and everybody who has worked hard to make this day a success. And I think lastly we should remember that why Swami said Krishna Kishore Garu is made of gold. These are the instances we should cherish and remember in all our lives. Now I would request Sundareshan Sir to present a photograph to Krishna Kishore Garu. I also have another happy announcement to make. I would request our warden sir, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir, to felicitate Krishna Kishore sir with a shot. This will be followed by Aarti, and I request Krishna Kishore sir also to perform the Aarti.
Sairam, there are two important things which Brother Krishna Kishore did not mention, which I thought definitely I should mention. He and his father wrote an article in 1999 on development of the nation through development of the national highways. And that went to the Prime Minister Vajpayee's notice, and he wrote for implementation. And that's how you have the Golden Quadrilateral Project. So he was responsible for that. And the second article that he wrote during the tenure of Prime Minister Modi. He wrote about the national campaign for cleanliness, which was announced 2 days later as Swachh Bharat. Swami blesses the country in various ways, and one of the ways is to produce children of his like Krishna Kishore. Sairam.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक बटी महेश्वर ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी नारायण 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 सत्यनारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण 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 सत्यनारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण 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 सत्यनारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति